Guapo. Guapo. Ahí.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. What a beautiful and glorious morning it is. I want to thank you all very much for coming here for the press conference at the First Unitarian Church. I am the Reverend Tom Goldsmith, the senior minister of the First Unitarian Church, and it's indeed an extremely happy day for the entire congregation. We are just delighted. I hope that you all have a list of speakers, and don't let the list fool you. Everybody's going to be pretty short and to the point. But I think what it does provide for everyone is an acknowledgement of just how wide the community has been in support for all these many years. 3 years, 2.5 months. And so it's just a joy to welcome some of the outstanding leaders of our community who never shied away from what some people thought controversial. They just lent their support in the utmost positive and welcoming ways. Since this is a church, I'd like to begin by lighting this chalice. And this is a ritual that we do every Sunday morning. And you'll see why, in just a moment, why I've decided to incorporate it in our press conference this morning. These are the words we say: symbol of light and knowledge, symbol of warmth and freedom. We light this chalice as a symbol of our faith. Here we gather to celebrate hope and the infinite possibilities of love. So when we have lit this chalice for the last 3 years and 2.5 months at every service, we have been especially cognizant of the flame as a symbol of freedom. In every mind and heart of every member of this church, we have focused on the work that is required to keep freedom alive for Vicky, her daughters Uretzi and Bella, and all immigrants who have been denied their basic human rights and dignity. The flame urges us to keep our hopes high, and we remind ourselves of the infinite possibilities of love. For we have poured a lot of love into this unique relationship with Vicky and her girls. You really get to know a family after more than 3 years of daily contact. And the love has only grown deeper every day. Because of the nature of who Vicky is, she has brought joy to our lives. Vicky never relinquished hope. In fact, she kept the flame burning brightly for our sake. Vicky had faith in God, faith in this church community, and faith in her daughters. Her girls would grow up strong, loving, and supportive of each other. Vicky has been an exemplary mother under rather difficult circumstances, wouldn't you say? I don't know how she's maintained her poise and equanimity throughout the many years. Vicky's life is no longer on hold. She leaves this church with a full grasp of the English language, a couple of hundred friends, and the confidence to pursue her dreams. We don't need to wish her well. She has the power, the will, the intelligence, and the charm to make her way through life as a compassionate leader and a generous contributor to society. We hope that if Vicky is not too busy, she will come back and visit us on occasion. We would be extremely happy to see you and your daughters whenever possible. Vicky, please come up here and share your comments with the press.
here in this special day. I remind the last day when everybody was here was in January 30th, 2018, the first day when I came to the church. And I'm really happy to see you again after a really hard year with the COVID. So thank you. And today I want to thank Reverend Tom for having opened the door of this church to my family, to all the members who are now a very important part of my life and of my daughters. Since they are like my family, they adopt me without knowing me, they support me without getting tired. I have no words to thank them for having given me a safe home for more than 3 years. I want to thank you so much for the love that you have given us. I came to this church without an empty, aching, broken heart, but with the hope and faith to continue with my family, and today I can say that I am full of love and happy to have arrived here on January 38, 2018. I have been very blessed to be here at First Unitarian Church, my home. Thanks to all those who are part of Team Vicky. Thanks for the effort and struggle that they have given day after day. Thanks to John Gregory for working tirelessly. Thanks for being a mother to me. Thanks for having been there in my days of sadness, depression. Thanks for listening and advising me. Thanks for being here and sharing my happiness today. You can all take off vacation, rest, and enjoy your family. Thanks to those who brought me here to continue fighting. Thanks for being my friends, and thanks for being here. Amy, Fabi, Luis Miranda, Easton, and Kay, Christine, Marta Black is here with me today too. And thanks to my lawyers, David Bennion from the Free Migration Project for fighting without giving up. It's thanks to him that today I can share with you that I can officially leave the room that the church decided to be our home. I'm leaving the room that I've heard myself crying in for many nights. The room where my daughters have spent hours playing since they could not go out to have fun in the park. Today, I leave the room, the home, but I no leave the shore, no the members and volunteers who have been with us for 1,168 days. Thanks to David Bennion for helping to obtain a stay removal from 1 year since April 12, 2021. I have no words to thank him for everything he has done for me, for my daughters, and for all those sanctuary families that are free today. Thanks to Skylar for accepting the challenge to be part of this battle. It has not been easy and at all for hearing so many no from eyes for my case, but here we are, and I know that he's happy to have been the person in charge of giving me this great news that I thought must have been a joke. Thank you to Skylar, my lawyer, for all these years of fighting against this system, but this is not over. So Skylar, keep fighting because better things will come. Thank you for restoring my confidence in knowing that there are excellent attorneys here in Utah. Thanks to all the volunteers who look after those doors 24/7, 365 days here to protect us without resting. Thanks for having been uncles, grandparents for my daughters. Thanks for playing with them and for being there watching them grow day by day. Thanks for everything they were taught. I can be here for hours, taking everyone, but Team Vicky is very big and I will need more than 1 hour to give thanks to each one. But overall, thank you all for being in this fighting since January 38, 2019. Thank you for having been with me day after day, and thank you for crying with me every time our requests were denied. Today, I know that we are happy because we finally hear something positive for us from ICE. Thanks to all the Team Vicky for making my fighting their fighting. Also, I want to say thank you to Ben McAdams, Erin Mendehel, This Way, Jen Wilson, Angela Romero, Tia for helping me knock on many doors. Thanks to them who took time to help my family, and thanks for being with my sharing my freedom. Thanks to the Team Vicky committee for always being there, planning, organizing, taking care of us, and thank you for fighting every day. Thanks to my meeting team. Thanks for being unconditional friends. Thanks for so many conversation, lovers, tears, but we are happy. Thank you to all my friends from Sanctuary. Thank you for being so strong in this fire. You are worthy of admiration. I'm happy here talking and talking, but I have to share my space, so I will have to visit everyone and take them in person. Today, we celebrate freedom, but the struggle continues. Thank you to all, and I love you with all my heart, so now we can fly like a butterfly. There is my team Vicky forever. So I don't know if the lawyer Skylar is
Yes,
here.
Skylar, yeah, I'm
Skylar.
yes, Skylar?
Skylar?
Skylar Anderson?
Yeah.
Yes, well.
Come on up,
Oh,
please.
yes, he's here. Yay!
What a day, huh? It's been a long, long time coming. To be honest, my role in this, I feel hasn't been that big, but it was an absolute honor to play a role in that. It is absolutely clear that our immigration system is broken, and Vicky's case makes that very clear. I have heard immigrations tell me at the end of asylum cases that they believe my client, that they believe that my client will be more likely than not be persecuted, that they may more likely than not be killed in their native country. But, and it's always followed by a but the law still requires me to deny your case. That is a problem. And I'm, as happy as I am today, I feel kind of constant whiplash being an immigration attorney from administration to administration with these executive orders, these band-aids on broken legs that aren't cutting it. Congress needs to act. We need a permanent solution. And until we have that, we're going to continue to have these kinds of atrocities happening in our country. This is an amazing story. It's a great moment right now. There are millions of Vickies in this country. I've represented many of them. There aren't enough churches to give sanctuary to all the Vickies of this country. This country needs to be that sanctuary. I'm not naive or arrogant enough to believe that we can save everyone, that this country can save the world. But we can and we must do better, and I hope that we do. And I will continue to play that small role that I can in helping to do that. Thank you.
A member of our church and also a representative, Liz Waite. Would you please come up?
Good morning. Vicky and her daughters and their story in our lives have expanded our humanity, our thinking, our beliefs, our prayers. Her fortitude has given me courage. Her persistence has caused me to examine what I stand up for. Both her fierce protection, along with gentle nurturing with her children, have created a distinct and lasting image of what motherhood is. Today, I think all of us are remembering our intersection and walk alongside Vicky's path to this day. I was one of those sitting out there chatting with other congregants before a special meeting where we all learned about a whole discussion that had been going on and an organization and proposed structure that could support a person needing sanctuary to keep them safe from harm and justice. Real stuff outside of normal church, even in here. That presentation must have been difficult for our church leaders to construct. because it sounded so political. It was political. We couldn't even know too many details about Vicky and her story yet. In a time of rising political emotions and conflict, but that had really stirred others and me to examine myself and my place and my purpose and our church community. Then we all had to think. We asked questions and we explored the implications, and I was sitting there thinking of my intersection in the state legislature. And so we noted foundational words and realized foundational meanings of our UU principles. And for me, principles that I see in promises I make as a state representative. Inherent worth and dignity, compassion, acceptance, truth and meaning, democratic process, liberty and justice for all people. So always with sadness, but also wonderfully, I have learned about Vicky's story and Vicky's amazing character as we shifted our church operations to include safe home space for her and her daughters. Through all the steps in all these weeks and years, and additionally through even more isolating times with COVID, I have learned from Vicky about the large and small and perpetual impacts of seeking and living in sanctuary. Her story is of the extraordinary. It's about humility, it's about strength, love, and dignity. And everything I cared about and knew and believed about my community and my country, everything has new meaning and new significance for the roles I choose, for the actions I take, for the messages I share. And the message today of celebration, of hope and family, never so meaningful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erin Mendenhall, Mayor of Salt Lake City. And 3 years ago, our friend Vicky Chavez took a leap of faith, having fled Honduras and abusive circumstances. She and her 2 daughters faced deportation by ICE and accepted an offer of sanctuary from First Unitarian Church and their community at large. And today, she is a member of our community who has actually been unable to enter our community until now. This story of struggle to gain asylum in our country is one of so many, even of my grandparents. As immigrants and asylum seekers in the United States have faced increased threat of deportation in the recent years and under the previous presidential administration. My meetings with you, Vicky, over the years have always felt like an old friend. And you can feel her passion, her tenacity, her celebration of life in her words today. Not a condemning word, not a word of anger or resentment. This is a woman of great power and love and tremendous influence on our broader community. She's a larger-than-life example of courage. She put her trust in the universe. She put her trust in the Unitarian Church. And today, I am so happy for you, Vicky, that your case has been granted a stay. This church has been your family's sanctuary for 3 years, but today, as those doors open, I hope you know that Salt Lake City welcomes you. We have welcomed you all along, and we can't wait to welcome you into the broader community. You and your daughters deserve permanence and that security of freedom, and we'll keep standing by you every step of the way and hope that permanence comes very, very soon. Thanks for coming today.
Angela Romero could not make it today, so I'd like to invite Pat Shea to please come forward.
short. I first want to thank Chief Mike Brown for his behind-the-scenes cooperation. And I want to note a bit about history. This state was founded by people who had been persecuted in Illinois and Missouri. And yet, in an ironic way, when they came to Utah, they did somewhat the same thing to the indigenous population that we're trying now to make amends for. But remember, immigration is America. And for people who deny that or don't support it, they don't know history. Thank you, Vicky, and please give your daughter the pin.
Mayor Jenny Wilson.
Well, thank you, as I struggle with earrings and a mask and all the things we do nowadays. What a special day. I feel so honored to be included. And I'll tell you, I think Mayor Mendenhall and other elected officials, Liz, can share. We have really busy schedules, but the minute I got the great news yesterday from my lead with our New Americans program, Z Zhao, that this was happening, I did drop everything to be with you. Thank you, Reverend, and to your congregation. What we need most in our city here, in our county, in our state, our nation, our world, right now is more compassion. And the members of this community, this church, show such compassion to you and your family. And who would have thought, I don't know that you knew, 1 month, 2 months, 3 years, thank goodness not another 4. But as was expressed by the amazing legal team, this journey, and I worked in Congress years ago, it's a long one, and it's one that we should simplify. And what I've learned so much by some engagement on this issue, by going to the border and witnessing the personal interaction, stories, was this is not just a humanitarian crisis that we're facing here in this country. It's an economic crisis. And anyone who argues that we're on the wrong side of this issue by not allowing more path to citizenship and moving out the barriers, they're just dead wrong. This is a solution that can have both a positive impact on our own humanity, on our compassion, on people's lives, but also can support our economy. And I want us to be clear about that, because I think the barriers towards that, we've become so polarized, are that it's one or the other. It's not. We can have both. We can support families like Vicky's, and we can also see a positive outcome within our nation. And it's clear, I don't need to throw out any numbers or data, but we know even in this state, we do come out ahead. And I would ask my partners who work at the federal government to open up their hearts and minds on these issues and be willing to step up, have courage, and make change in this area. So I'll tell you, I was really struck by this challenge due to being a mom and understanding from that perspective what it might mean to not allow my kids to get out during COVID, go to the park, do their thing, ride their bikes, etc. And I am so happy that your kid's going to go to Disneyland, right? I read that in the paper. Yeah, your kids deserve to go to Disneyland. So let me know if I can help with that. Today, we want to make sure that Vicky, of course, and her family have a great future. So I'd love to see this opportunity to support further by anyone who has not been able to support here within the walls. We call it a church, but it was a home. It was everything that this congregation provided. So thank you for that. I think with now the Biden administration, there's hope. Again, I would ask Congress to step up as well. I'm thrilled that you can have a life outside of the church, and I would share that you're always welcome in this community, and we want all of us to have you know that, no matter the walls that you're living within. And I look forward to hearing about the Disneyland trip. Before I close, I want to share that I received a flyer coming in, Take Action for Vicky. There's the first bullet is to elected officials. We need you to be the strong advocates on Vicky's behalf and on behalf of all immigrants in our community. On this, we ask you today for your commitment. Are you with us? Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty Wilson. Thank you. In order to make sure that you understand that you are in a church, we will take up a collection for the Disneyland trip after the press conference.
Amen.
Okay, now, I'd like to introduce Joan Gregory, who has really been the glue to the whole sanctuary organization in this church. She has worked tirelessly. It sounds like a cliche, but she's probably slept a total of 10 hours over the last 3 years. Joan, why are you coming?
Good morning. My name is Joan Gregory, and I'm the Sanctuary Director here at First Unitarian Church. And our congregation and our 200 sanctuary volunteers have been honored and humbled by the opportunity to accompany Vicky and her young family on their journey towards freedom since January 30th, 2018, over 38 months. More than 167 weeks, now almost 1,171 days. Are you counting, Vicky? For the seconds, it's been 101,085,078 seconds, and out that door is the number that we will have when we're ready. Vicky's been counting, and so have the girls. In that time, we have learned and gained so very much by getting to know Vicky Chavez, a strong woman, a strong mother, friend, colleague, and leader. Vicky is a loving, caring mother who fled life-threatening domestic violence and domestic abuse in Honduras, one of the most dangerous countries in the world for women and girls, in order to keep her family safe and together. Vicky has taught us about love. Love so deep that she would not put her baby down during that long and treacherous journey from Honduras to the United States. Faith so strong that she has never been willing to give up, trusting in God, though it has been so tempting to give up along the way. Rooted in hope, not passive hope, but active hope, which is about becoming active participants in bringing about what we hope for. Vicky is well respected in our community, as you can see by all the people here today who have gathered here and online to witness this significant milestone in Vicky's struggle. Vicky will be an outstanding neighbor for you, a citizen of this state someday and this country as well. We who have supported you, Vicky, we who have raised our voices and signed petitions and marched and rallied, we who have taken action on your behalf, pledge to you, Vicky, that we will continue to work hard and long to make permanent resident status a reality for you. have our commitment. You may be leaving the church building, the physical sanctuary, but this community, your community, will surround you and will be with you, Team Vicky, forever. And that's a hashtag. Team Vicky, forever. This stay of removal was a long time in coming, and it is huge. But the struggle is not over for Vicky and her family. The struggle is not over yet for a path to permanent resident status for Vicky and for those who have taken sanctuary for years across the country. And the struggle is not over for the transformation of our system from the deportation system that it has become to an actual immigration system that welcomes the stranger. And so we need everyone to take action with us. Jenny Wilson asked you, I'm going to ask you too. Elected officials, we need you to be strong advocates on Vicky's behalf.
That's right.
And on behalf of all immigrants in our community and in our country, on this we ask you today for your commitment. Are you with us?
Yes.
Thank you. Everyone, we need you to read and share Vicky's story. Follow Vicky's Facebook page, Team Vicky 3. That's for the three of them, Vicky and her two daughters. Use the hashtag Team Vicky forever to tweet about the press conference and all the other work that we will be doing and have done. Watch for actions and then take those actions, please. Especially watch for updates on the civil fines lawsuit and on advocating for private bills and encouraging our elected officials to do the same. Donate to the Sanctuary Family Fund or the Sanctuary Legal Defense Fund or both on the First Unitarian Church website to support the many expenses that will accompany Vicky and her family as they transition from sanctuary into the community. All funds go to support Vicky and her family. Go to slcuu.org, click on the red donate button with the heart, and then donate to one of those funds. The direct link is slcuu.org/about/donate-online. And then support organizations in our community and nationally that work day after day after day on immigrant rights and have supported Vicky in her struggle, including Comunidades Unidas in West Valley City here, and Enriching Utah Coalition at cuutah.org. The Free Migration Project, that is where David Benyon works out of, who has been instrumental in Vicky's freedom, freemigrationproject.org. The National Sanctuary Collective, Collectivo Sanctuario, the sanctuarycollective.org. And I want to add my thanks to the grassroots community-based organizations that were our very first connections with Vicky. We love you, we appreciate you. La Red de Solidaridad, Salt Lake Sanctuary Network, and Unidad in Micrante. Thank you. We need everyone to take action. Our federal delegation to take action, our congressmen to take action. We need everyone on board for our immigrant community. Not just Vicky, but everyone. Thank you.
I think the press may want to be sure to get a shot here of President Biden, which has been knitted by Vicky. It's very fitting that the president is here today. For 10 years, this church has been in a privileged relationship. We call it, we've been connected with a sister church, San Esteban in West Valley. And their pastor, Dr. Pablo Ramos, is here to bring this portion of our press conference to a close with the benediction. We've enjoyed a tremendous relationship with the Reverend Dr. Ramos and his congregation, and I'd like to ask Dr. Ramos to please come and bring this portion to an end with a benediction in both English and Spanish.
Congratulations to Vicky, and thank you to the First Unitarian Church, Pastor Tom, for bringing hope to the entire immigrant community in Salt Lake City. I have no words to express my gratitude for everything you have done during these past 3 years. Thank you. Del extranjero escuchamos las buenas nuevas del pacto del amor de Dios. Del extranjero recibimos el linaje de Cristo. Del extranjero recibimos ayuda y sanación. Cuando somos extranjeros llegamos a conocer a un Dios que nos libera. En el extranjero podemos experimentar la presencia de Cristo. Dios amoroso, mira en tu compasión, oh Padre Celestial, a los que en este país viven con la injusticia, el terror, la enfermedad y la muerte como sus compañeros constantes. Ten piedad de nosotros, ayúdanos a eliminar nuestra crueldad hacia estos prójimos nuestros. Fortalece a los que dedican sus vidas para garantizar a todos igualdad de oportunidades y protección imparcial de la ley, y concede que cada uno de nosotros disfrute de la justa distribución de los bienes de este país. Concede, oh Dios, que tu santo y vivificador Espíritu anime de tal manera a todo ser humano, especialmente a los habitantes de este país, que se derrumben las barreras que nos dividen, que desaparezcan las sospechas y que cesen los odios, a fin de que, sanadas nuestras divisiones, vivamos en paz y justicia. Finalmente, Señor, te rogamos que nos dé las fuerzas para defender a los marginados, para ayudar a los necesitados, para salir en defensa de los más pobres y vulnerables, y para acoger a aquellos que llegan a nosotros hogares, a nuestros hogares y a nuestro corazón. From the stranger, we hear the good news of God's covenant love. From the stranger, we are given the lineage of Christ. From the stranger, we receive help and healing. When we are strangers, we come to know a God who frees us. In the stranger, we can experience the presence of Christ. Look with love, O Heavenly Father, upon the people in this land who live with injustice, terror, disease, and death as their constant companions. Have mercy upon us. Help us to eliminate our cruelty to these our neighbors. Strengthen those who spend their lives establishing equal protection of the law and equal opportunities for all. And grant that every one of us may enjoy a fair portion of the riches of this land. Grant, O God, that your holy and life-giving Spirit may so move every human heart, and especially the hearts of the people of this land, that barriers which divide us may crumble, suspicions disappear, and hatreds cease. That our divisions being healed, we may live in justice and peace. For the immigrant, the refugee, the one we do not know, we give our thanks and praise. Lord, we ask that you give us the strength to defend those who are marginalized, to give aid to those in need, to come to the defense of those who are poor or vulnerable, and to welcome those who are on the move into our homes and into our hearts. Amen.